So first to start off, I got a 2009 Trackmaster Thomas chassis. I tested if it could work, of course, and it did. So then originally what I was going to do was, get a tube, the one on screen, and cut it down to size. And if that didn't work, I would just cut off the side tanks and attempt to cover up the dead space with some cardboard. But, Adam's a well tank, so I had to try my best with the original idea. The other one would look too skinny. But in my opinion, the current one ended up being too big. So I started by measuring it right next to the actual thing. Then I marked it with a marker. I attempted to cut it in half with a Milwaukee blade and shave it down. Please don't attempt this out. But, so first I started, but of course, in revenge trade style, I fumbled. So I wanted to do the original side tanks idea, but first I had a pretty not so smart thought and said, you know what, why don't we just saw him down to size? Because even if I did do the side tanks idea, I would have to cut him down to size eventually. And also Thompson is dead, by the way. I just tried to do it again, but this time with some safety scissors that I found. So I started to cut the cardboard in half, which, that's kind of impossible. Yeah, it's really hard to do it at first. But, the cardboard's strong in the tube, but it still flakes a lot. So then you gotta secure it with glue. With the scissors, I was able to make more precise marks, so I could actually cut off and chop where the battery would go. So I started to do that, but I was really afraid because at the end of the day, it's just me wasting paper tube. Because this is the same exact paper tube I used for the Tug smokestack, sorry. Yeah, I'm sick, by the way. After shaving a little off, I thought it was pretty good. It fitted the battery, and that's kind of all I needed. Then I peeled off the sticker, and actually nobody would know this. So I hacksaw my engines when I do things with the boilers, running or non-running. I always cut the side tanks off of Thomas's, so I was thinking, from this point on, after I peel off this sticker, there's no return. So I got out the hacksaw and started sawing away. It's pretty helpful. Yep. Ninja chop. After that, I tested it to see if it would fit, and it fitted pretty good in my opinion. A lot better than I thought it would. And why does that always happen? So it would still fit on the chassis, but when I tried to, put the battery in and slide the boiler on, there's a gap. Now, the Trackmaster 1 engines, for some reason, have this little plastic barrier around where a screw with a piece of plastic holds the battery box in. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, then I started to sand the cab. I sanded the cab because it didn't really have a smooth finish, and I really wanted it so it would be at an angle and some loose hot glue would drip down and kind of ruin the vision. After that, as usual, I got the axis away with a brush. But of course, that problem was still there. So instead I used my wire strippers to cut a popsicle stick down to size. That was a pretty smart idea. So all I really had to do was just glue the hot glue gun and put the popsicle stick in place. Adam, if and when you see this, please let me know what you want me to do with your engine. Like, what kind of videos, will it work on the MRA, what does he do on the MRA, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I glued it, and I didn't glue it right down to the running board, even though that's what I usually do. I got some Jaffa cakes, Toppin's favorite, a long time ago, so I used some of the cardboard to cover the front, and then I cleaned it up with some scissors. It fitted pretty good in my opinion, a lot better than I thought it would. So all I really had to do was patch up that area around the boiler to the cab. I had to patch that up. Sorry. Also, Thompson kind of wood chipped, so I don't think I'll be able to glue them back together. He had his matte finish too. Now, like I said, I didn't glue the body to the running board like I usually do, because I wanted to make this motorized so I can actually use it. So I found a little tube for a boiler. I meant a funnel. Sanded it away, put it on with some glue. Sorry, this is unscripted. And then after that, I got some more popsicle sticks and cut them out for little pistons. Just in cases, yeah. This is usually what I do. I decided from right on that I wouldn't put any clay on there because clay can be a tricky thing to get right. So I just put another popsicle stick there instead. And after a couple of touch-ups and covering, you know, where it was pretty exposed to battery, Adam's body was basically finished, but I wanted to go the extra mile and add some handrails for some guiding when I would paint the handrails on with some marker. So I got a little wire, and I cut it, put 2 globs of glue, glob glue, say that 10 times fast, and then I would kind of roll it up, but basically just stick it into place. Sorry. Yeah, I managed to cut my hand with the safety scissors. Somehow. So I straightened that out, well, a lot. And then I cut it off with the safety scissors, extremely carefully this time. Then I proceeded to do the same process that I did on the other side, which was the right side. Sorry, I'm really sick. After that, I brought it back in my room, which then I proceeded to use the same glue I used for Thomas and Gordon. This glue doesn't really stick on that well. I noticed that with Gordon when I sort of repainted him. But this is the kind of colors, or the kind of paint brand, where you really need a primer. Because that kind of showed, because I had to do a lot of coats. Yeah, next time I use this shade of blue, it's kind of I really like this shade of blue, so next time I'll use it, I'll make sure to put some primer on. Honestly, probably not, because I don't always do that. I don't not put primer to avoid the process, but kind of like what Gio said in his video, the kind of paint that I use, which is usually matte finish paint, it sticks on a lot better. Sorry, really sick. I'm not gonna edit that out. I'm not lazy, you're lazy. So anyway, I just proceeded to cover him with that Smurf blue. I actually don't know what kind of blue it is. It'll probably meet you on screen right now so you can read it. Honestly, I don't feel like trying to pronounce it. Then I painted the pistons. Yeah, piston casings. Then I painted the wheels, the chassis, and the running board. I didn't have a gray that wasn't for the faces, and honestly, I don't want to paint it the same as the faces because, well, to me it just looks wrong. So what I did instead was just proceed to cover the wheels in black paint and the running board, but I still wasn't able to, well, do a pretty good job on the running board because right now on Adam you could sort of see a little bit of red because, you know, he's a well tank. After that dried, I got the side rods back, put them back into place, and scraped off the black paint I got on the little metal connectors. I don't know what they're called. Still works, of course. Then I had to, you know, free that little space for the peg to fit. Yep, gotta make sure that it's not covered. Come on, Revenge, hurry up, dude. Wait, that's me, never mind. And honestly, I thought he was looking pretty clean after that. But then I got the black to paint the roof, and the coal bunker, and, well, the inside of the cab that you're supposed to see. So, yeah. That's kind of all I did. Then I did the funnel. Yeah, I like adding black paint. Then I did the smoke box. There wasn't really any lining or a lot of stuff to go off of, so I just proceeded to do that how I wish. It was messy. Yes, it still is messy. I don't mask my engines because of what happened with Michael, which is still in the process of making. But let's just say the paint ripped very badly, and I just ended up wasting paint. So anyway, side tangent out of the way. Then I painted the inside of the cab. I waited until the next day so that oh wait, I read that wrong. Okay, now it's the next day, which is the day I'm recording. I just got some gray. He wanted blue train with Friend style face, so I just did a dab of glue, painted the front gray, and it's looking kind of good in my opinion. Very crisp, very clean. After that, a couple of hours later, the first thing I decided to do was lining. I gave it that signature Revenge train style golden dome. Then after that, I painted the piston. Well, not painted, but just put little stripes on the piston casings, because, of course, that's what I do. With Posca, honestly, you should probably use dark red if you're gonna make, or do lining with Posca, because it appears more as pink. Then I proceeded to put white for the handrails because I don't have gray on me right now. I did the boiler lining pretty badly because I went under the actual boiler. You can see on the Adem model in, what's it called again? North Patrick Railway. You can see it in the game. How, you know, it doesn't go all the way down. And originally, I was gonna just paint on the splashes, but because I did that, I couldn't do that. Then I painted little circles around the black dots for little peak holes. Then I painted the back of the tail lamp. Sorry, rambling and my nose is full. And after that, he was looking pretty clean. Very mean, lean, clean dude. I painted that off screen. He wanted me to do winking, but Adam, if and when you see this, because you already told me one thing you want him to do, a winking face wouldn't really look good when he's traveling and things. And it wouldn't make sense either. Also, I gave him a little branch line head code. Yeah, that's cool. I think this is devious, I don't know. But that's how I made my custom Adam. Did you hear about the Stars losing the contract? Of course I heard about it. I mean, I literally shunt for them. Yeah, heard that. Well, you guys aren't doing the best right now. Yeah, and it gets so bad because then they blame it on us shunters. When it's not really us, it's out of our control, you know? It's more of a, well, contract battle. But they ordered another engine because they really think it's our fault. So I think you'll be in here a little bit. Well, wouldn't ordering another engine literally be the worst thing to do? I mean, like, kinda, but like I said, you know, we don't get to decide that. I think I can hear him right now. Hello, my name's Adam. Who are you? Hello there, Adam. I'm Billington. That right there is Patrick. Are you Adam? My name's Shay. I'll be showing you around. Now, first... Let me stop you right there, man. Are you a diesel? Because you kinda look like a diesel. I beg your pardon? I am a steam engine, just built for a logging railway. You see, I know, it's just, you kinda don't have side rods, any visible pistons, buffers, or a normal buffer beam at that. Kinda look weird. So are you a diesel? Because you look like a diesel. He's from the UK, ain't he, Billington? Yes, he is. He just came. He would hate America. So what's that supposed to mean? I mean, you aren't used to engines that don't look like you. Well, that's not true. I mean, it kind of is, clearly. Yeah. Well, you're just mean, Patrick. He's low-key kind of right. I mean, you don't like two bogey diesels. Any of you know where the docks is? I kind of got lost, and I don't know how I came here without crashing. Huh? But